Come in, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Cyberpunk Apogee. This is our lovely crew here. Welcome to you all. Give a shout out to Forge. We are using their lovely software. Kind enough to let us do so. And if anyone else is looking for a place to host their foundry, the Forge is a great place to go. Without further ado, let's see what's going on in the people's lives. Ezreal, how are things going?
Hey, things are good. Yeah, I haven't streamed a whole lot. Maybe I did. No, I did. I streamed War Tales this week. War Tales was really good because I remember you rated me, and I appreciate that. It's very great. They actually just came out with an update. So it's like update 6 where they revamped the Destiny system, and they did a lot of like with the pathing and everything. So I know that you've been looking forward to playing that, and it's very worthwhile. I would definitely do it. Other than that, not a whole lot.
All right. Excellent. Dimension. How is Sylvan
finally
doing?
Sylvan's doing okay right now, but just was recently told that he's actually the vessel for Orcus. So yeah, that's been
the
confirmed.
God of the Dead. Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of a lot. And now he's being told that he has to basically disintegrate certain people that aren't meant to rise again. And that is his new job.
Yeah, I'm still curious as to what exactly that's all about and why.
Well, I guess we'll find out when the king dies and I have to disintegrate his body by placing a phoenix feather on it and not allowing anyone to bring him back to life.
Yeah, about that.
That should bring me some favor with everyone else.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm puzzled by a little bit. I'm sure everyone's going to be absolutely thrilled.
I'm sure it won't cause any kind of inter-party conflict or anything. It'll be fine. Totally be fine.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, what else is going on with you?
I finally finished Metroid. We finished with 79%. I think it took 15 total hours. It was a really good game. The last two boss battles I don't think I had ever done. So they were completely brand new to me and really enjoyed both of them. Got so into the last boss battle with Metroid Prime that I forgot to scan its second phase. So, I missed that whole scan opportunity because I was so into trying to beat the thing. But it was great. It only took 2 tries, but it was still a very tough battle. I think I was short 1 energy tank to have all of the energy tank upgrades. So if I had missed more of those, it would have been real bad. And I don't know if I'd have made it through. So I finished that, and I have started The Witcher 2. I've only played maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I'm working on The Witcher 2 now. That's going to be a game. I can already tell. So at the end of the tutorial, to finish off the tutorial, first of all, I'm glad the game has a tutorial because the first Witcher doesn't. The first Witcher game is just like, figure it out. You'll be fine. The second Witcher has a tutorial, which I'm thankful for, but it's a lot. It's a whole lot of a lot, and it's all given to you real fast. And I'm sitting here playing through this tutorial, and I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of this when I actually need it. I'm going to have to go check controls or tutorials later when I like when I'm actually in game and need to use this stuff. And then at the very end of the tutorial, it's like, all right, here's the deal. We're gonna give you a bunch of equipment. You're gonna set it all up in your hotbar, and then we're gonna send some enemies out to fight you. And you're gonna defeat as many enemies as you can, and the game is gonna suggest a difficulty setting based on how many enemies you defeat. I defeated a grand total of 0 before I got dropped. So the game just gave me a big middle finger and told me I should set it to easy. So yeah, we're playing through The Witcher 2 on easy mode because I couldn't even defeat an enemy in the tutorial.
All right. Now, others have said it. 3 is better mechanics-wise, man. 3 is.
Well, I already like the mechanics in 2 better.
Yeah.
There's just a few really weird decisions that they made that are already evident that I'm just like, why? That were better in the first one. Like so far, it appears that I can't drink potions without meditating, which is stupid because I used potions a lot in battles in the first Witcher, and you can drink the potions in battle in the first Witcher. Why would you not still be able to do that in the second Witcher? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I get it. I've played, but yeah, I agree. There was some interesting. So, but keep it up. You'll enjoy it. It's good.
I mean, at least it looks better than the first Witcher. And I mean, granted, I had the first Witcher turned all the way down to the lowest possible settings so it would play on my laptop. But so far, I haven't really had a lot of lag on The Witcher 2. I mean, like I said, I played an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But it looks way better. The audio quality leaves something to be desired. But, you know, I'm playing the game so that I can play the trilogy because I bought all 3 of them, and I'm going to get through it so I can get to the third one because the third one's supposed to be great.
I've played part of the third one. I need to do a full playthrough. But it's good. So
You'll need to. You'll probably not be able to play the third one on your laptop.
yeah.
Hopefully my PC fund will be all the way up by then, and I'll be beardless and
I was going to say,
playing the third
talking
one on my
about.
PC.
How close are we now? Have you progressed?
I have another $100 to add to it once I'm able to get it off of my plasma card. I have not added it to the progress bar until I pull the cash out and put it safe. I mean, it's much easier for me to save cash, so I just pull it out, put it in the fund, and then when I've got it all, I'll put it on my debit card and go buy it. So once I get that pulled and actually add it to the stash, then the progress bar will go up a little bit more.
Nice.
And tomorrow's donation day, so there will be a little bit more to add to it too.
Woohoo. Good luck with it, man. It's awesome. Matt and Nat.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Other than time change is a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, look. You know, you get into a routine with the time that you have.
Yep.
And now the time that I have is different. So, like, what this looks like is normally this game would be noon for me. Well, at least up till now, it's been noon for me. And that was cool. I had my Sunday mornings to get weekend things done. Now this game is at 10 a.m. for me. And so I've lost 2 hours, and I was here only right on time because it's now a lot more difficult. But I'm here, and that's the main thing.
I will say, kids don't believe in time change either.
Yeah, I can't imagine all of
so-
that. So look, I know I'm lucky to just have me and only have me as a responsibility, but still, I could get up earlier, but it's a weekend. This is my
it's a weekend.
This is my time.
It's all good.
Anyway, yeah, I had just finished like 2 days of streaming with Lady Vengeance. On Friday we did Diablo 3. I think we've probably got 1 or 2 more of those to go to get through the story. And you know, I like we're on rifts and stuff now for that, so it's just like after a couple more sessions, we're probably going to be mostly done. I think with Diablo 3 in preparation for number 4, and we're tossing up what we do in that time slot next. So either we'll run rifts and stuff weekly, and neither of us are like super keen on that. But one thing that we might do is go and visit Last Epoch for a couple of months until D4 comes out, which would give us that ARPG vibe, and you know, get us into a slightly more difficult game, and a little bit more deep game. So that's something that we're considering. And last night we played Borderlands. We played about half of it as side quests, and the second half of the stream was like doing main quest stuff, and we're feeling a lot better about our characters and a lot better about our progress than we have for the last couple of times that we played Borderlands, because we just felt like we were getting nowhere. We were doing side quests and we were getting our asses handed to us, and now, like, even though we're still going down and stuff, it's that stage of where we're feeling good. We're starting to feel a little bit better about it, and have caught up in level and stuff. So that's ongoing as well. Course is going well. I handed in a draft to one of my lecturers and got some really good feedback. Most of it is like, they said, you know, 90% of this, you are right in this, and there was just those little couple of niggledy little things to just improve. So I'm feeling pretty good right now, because it's like this is the first real like bachelor level education I've done, and it's been over 13 years since I studied at all, let alone at this level. And so to come back after that time, to come back after mental breaks and all this stuff, and get told the first ever assessment that, hey, this is looking like good. So I'm feeling good.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. That is really good.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like that GIF that what is it, like Shia LaBeouf like standing up and doing.
Great.
There you go.
Great moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep it up. It was funny, actually. When I graduated from college with my bachelor's, my mom told me she didn't think I was going to make it through. It's like, Mom! So, she didn't tell me during college. She waited till after I had graduated. She's like, but I didn't want to dishearten you, so I waited. It's like, thanks.
I didn't want to tell you, but you know what? I didn't believe in you when you were in school.
Well, I don't do well with school. Like, it's... Matt probably has some feeling on that too. Like, school is not how I think, so
yeah,
it clashes.
I want the practice. I want
rough.
to do the thing rather than do the study. You know,
Yeah.
The study will get me somewhere, and it'll be useful, and I'm applying it specifically into, I'm going to do this study to make it worthwhile for when
Right.
I'm in practice. You know, so
Right. But it's definitely not how my brain works. So it definitely, education is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you on that. Well, gentlemen, ready for it?
sure aren't.
Let's
No,
do it.
totally.
Recap last week.
Many rats.
I mean, like I would say like I would do it, but like it wasn't my it wasn't my fault.
It actually, I think
wasn't my
you
fault.
should, because
Go ahead.
where you wound
That's
up
fine.
is your fault.
Yeah, okay.
But
That's fine.
it's good. It's cool for anyone to do it.
I'll do it. It's fine. So we got into a heated. We had just finished finishing off the elites, and then I, in my infinite wisdom, decided, you know what, I want to help. So I found the power to like the power generator to the air handler, and you know what, I decided these people need air. They need air circulation. It's really dank and like I don't know, stuffy. So you know what, I'm gonna turn the power back onto the air, and like I did it, and suddenly like all these like rat noises, like screaming, painful noises came, and they like just poured out of the vents, and yeah, so we had to put down a lot of corgi-sized rats, and that was interesting and mostly one shot by me. Um, and then Mama Rat decided to show up because apparently killing her babies is not a good idea. So she decided to come out and play, and she got put down too. So we finished that off, and now we're breathing, and now we're figuring out what we wanted to. Oh, we went down to floor 2, and then we found like the area. It kind of looks like a bank vault. It's a really secure room. Broke into that, rolled really well. Um, Rolled through 2 different uh, hard areas, and now I believe we are now face to face with the mind.
You opened a room that had security systems. It was a tech area, and your friend Zid mentioned caution with it because of it. You were able to get in and disable it, and so then it's on. And in on the computer there was a older gentleman sitting there. So that is where we left off, with you all seeing this older gentleman at a console. So camera picks back up. The party looking at it as they realize there is this older gentleman sitting there at the console in front of them.
Zid looks pointedly at Seamus.
Seamus looks pointedly at this person at the console.
I'm gonna like look over at him, and I'm gonna kind of like knock on the glass. Hello, sir. We have questions for you. Sorry to disturb you. We know you've been hard at work for quite a long time, obviously, but we would like to ask you a few questions, please.
Are you? This guy looks like he's probably more than 100 years old. Like, he looks old. Makes you question how he could survive so long. Everything. But he is definitely very old.
We're looking for the mind.
It's a nickname they gave me. It's not really a name. But what can I do for you?
Say. What do we come down here to ask him? It's been 2 or 3 sessions since then, and I don't remember.
You don't look like you're a bunch of mutant rejects like the rest of the people here. So who are you all?
We're what you'd loosely call employees, but we're looking for a way out.
So they did get their captive project going full swing. Must be assets of theirs. Interesting. Did you not get the warning that was sent out to not mess with them?
I can't say that we exactly remember.
If you guys remember the recruitment little video, there was someone who contacted you about the request, it mentioned that it was flawed. You guys remember it? I know this is racking memories back a couple months.
Not really.
In that little recruitment video, there was 2 different colors of text, 2 different kind of ways of talking, different lingos, as it were. One was an advertisement for Life Tech, and you guys saw that. It was very generous reward. The second one that came in was a warning that they weren't who they were seemed, and that the gig request that was sent out was a false. And then that message was interrupted, canceled. So, reminder for all the players may have forgotten. But yes, that was a in-world video that you guys got.
Yeah, see, Zid, that was kind of thrust upon Zid, and he didn't really have a choice in the matter. So he's shaking his head and he's like, I don't know about the rest of these fine fellows, but Sir Mind, it was not exactly my idea to come down here in the first place. Let's say on the surface that I got into a little bit of trouble.
Did that message get out or not?
Kind of.
Kind of.
A bit of the message came through. It was stopped a little way in, though.
Ah. Blast him. Alright. It's good to know. We tried to warn
me. It seems to me that there be a quite fearsome netrunner amongst the employees of said corporation, who seems to have his fingers in every pot.
I don't actually say. It's much more dangerous than that. It's an AI construct.
That's not good.
Precisely.
Is this the eyeball that we see?
That may be one persona he gives himself. Yes.
So, how do we poke this thing in the eye?
Easier said than done. It's
Oh,
very
most things are.
true. He's a particular. Have to find a way to disable him. Fortunately, control here. That being said, doesn't control everything on the outside. So if you're able to get out to the complex, then he doesn't have any direct control.
Does this AI person have a name, a moniker, something?
Oh, I'm to go. I'm
that
not
fashion?
over my ship. Master. He goes by a whole bunch of them. But it's always the same.
A person of power. Yes, domination.
Sees that he's the only one to ensure things are done. I think his programming got a little bit off in the process because It's missing some points. People don't exactly cheat. Being forced. It's exactly what he does.
So there might be some form of resistance.
Yet he does not see resistance as acceptable in any means, so probably will do well to squash it without mercy.
So we have seen.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been wiped at least once.
So, if you guys got the warning, why did you sign up? Or did you saying you didn't sign up and they kidnapped you? In which case, doesn't.
Well, our good friend Zid here definitely probably got kidnapped. I unfortunately took the beating because I'm looking for my parents and I'm trying to like rescue them, and I just need information. So that was the reason why I took the beating.
Well, if you do find your way out, there is a secondary cable I had connected that got damaged somewhere. Get that reestablished, I can send a resistance agent out to try to put up a resistance against him. She's the one who helped me send the message. But right now the complex is cut off outside. His own little playground.
When you say get out, are you talking about these skin suits? Or are you talking about us getting our actual bodies back and getting out?
I don't know. You said you were trying to get out. Said you to get out.
We're trying to get out of these like fake meat bodies back into our real bodies.
See. That would be. So they where they're being kept. I have not seen the plan of the new complex areas.
Not offhand, no.
See.
We only were able to establish the fact that our real bodies were being held. Well, a number of reasons. These are not it. I am covered almost head to toe with tattoos. I have neck rings normally. All of us are missing things. We knew something was off. But it wasn't until more recently that we overheard some of the higher employees speak of the process involved. And when we came down here, discovered even more that this experiment had been going on for much longer than we ever dreamed possible.
Many decades.
Definitely the case. I used to work with him and was left behind with the base. They were trying to eliminate his opposition, as it were. Two different names at the time. Not realize exactly what it entailed. When I realized the route, worked to support his opposition. Had the masculine sort of personality, the feminine. Needless to say, it's not upon easily.
We encountered the mutated folk that live down here, and we asked them where we might find more information about the gangs, more information about what is going on, what might be down here that we might be able to use. And they pointed us in your direction, albeit that we have encountered some resistance along the way. You might see that we are a little beaten up at this point, man.
Just a little bit.
There is some ruffians in the air, that's for sure. But when you start messing with no regard, ethics, some strange circumstances can come to be. It's what you missed.
So he just decided to like gene splice people for no reason.
He probably has a reason. It may not be a logical one to you or I, but it is a reason. At this point, I am not kept privy of choices they make. So, it would have records on that in Night City. We're not exactly very close to Night City now. Do you know?
No idea, man. The closest that we came to was an analysis of the rock down here, which didn't really tell us very much.
So, you to have some unpleasant truths brought to you.
Unfortunately, yes.
Lay it on us, man. There is a desolated zone somewhere in the Midwest of the United States of America where they have built a massive underground vault. That is where you find yourselves. In the complex. The hidden base of Life Tech, who, despite some of our best efforts, continue down a less fortunate path.
So I hear the words, and I look over at Zid, and I see the muscles start to tense on Zid's neck, and he's like, I see the anger just like boiling, and so I'm just kind of waiting for him to explode.
Zid's patiently waiting to hear more. There's a little bit of foot tapping going on, faster and faster, as he's waiting for more.
So if you are able to get out of the complex, unless you can find a band of individuals in the area, you will have very, very long walk ahead of you. But if you get out, be sure to head west-southwest, slightly south, but basically west, and you should be able to see Night City in about a year walking fast.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna walk. I think we're gonna probably have to maybe find a car and like wire it up, or maybe we have a nomad contact.
Who
They are the group of people that they don't have really a set place that they convene. They move about, and they're really good with cars and deliveries and smuggling and things of that nature.
Well, if you are able to get the system reconnected, we can attempt to send a message to these nomads if you have a contact with them, but we would need to get the external connection reestablished.
What do you need us to do to reestablish this connection?
You need to find where they spliced the cable that allowed for the communication.
Do you have a map that maybe we can look at? You don't have a network map?
I did, but it's out of date. I contracted with some that was a resistance group of something, and they were able to get it connected.
Can we have that map so we can at least have something to go off of?
Sure, it's not going to be valid, but why not? It's around here somewhere. Start shuffling around. Eventually pulls up this paper. Here you are. I know for a fact that one of the areas that it says it goes through is a hall that has no cable going across it. So you know that it's no longer the...
is there a way for me to roll, like, perception or tech or something to, like, try and figure out, like, or is
you
that
would need to
something
find a more up-to-date version, which would probably be back when you're up in the complex, doing a net dive or having a reason to find one.
All right. Would we, like, having that paper, would anything on that paper help lead us to a newer version of it, or
no?
Is this just no good?
You could find where the nodes and stuff are down here, but they wouldn't help you.
Okay.
Outside of this out-of-date area. The date on the paper is 40 ago.
Okay. I didn't know it was that old, so
yeah.
Here you go, Mr. Mind. You can have this back. Thanks.
Yeah, that's why he was like, it's way out of date. I know they've done a lot.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
You had something, Seamus?
We keep talking as if we're going to take these bodies out and start walking. What if... And Seamus kind of reaches up and kind of strokes his chin a little bit. What if our bodies aren't held here?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, do you think they're just going to keep everyone's regular bodies, like right in the next room where we're staying, so we can just walk in and open up the pods?
They will have them in the complex.
I don't know what the technology is that brings them, brings all the whatever's in here, but...
Oh, the mental data link. Yes, we're working on it before our separation, as it were. Improved them, which is not surprising, seeing as he has no ethics on his invention. Yes, it allows you to connect mentally to things, and apparently he has it where it connected to bodies, which is very strange. Ethical. But given that the access to outside has been cut, I believe your bodies would have to be within the complex somewhere. Now, probably not very accessible, but within the complex.
That's definitely helpful.
I will say, Blackstone, your lip reading that you did, they were talking about the actual host bodies being complex as well. To basically conglomerate with what this guy's saying. Because I can speak well right now.
Speak well. Alright, does he know what was done to wreck the cable, or any information about how it used to be connected and what we might need to potentially reconnect it if there's a store of extra cable and solder tools and all of that sort of extra stuff that we might need if we're going to try and track this down?
The only thing he said he'd do is that there was a resistance or rebel or opposition group that he was able to contact, and they were able to do the work. They connected.
So we just have to find
So
it, and then
there's a group,
he'll...
apparently, that would have that info, but he doesn't have that info. But he knows how life tech used to be and how things were originally designed. Details on that and answer questions. But the current complex, as he said, he was not part of. He stayed behind attempting to apparently get the counterpart or sibling out or dealt with or help with the resistance. So it sounds like there's actually potentially 2 AIs, not one. One that is more cutthroat and has been utilized and pushed by life tech, and one that's kind of in opposition to that.
Alright.
So it sounds like we're looking for a lady AI.
Actually,
Um,
now, none of you have asked anything about the other AI or she might reside or anything, but I did mention that.
or so when he tried to like push out the other AI, or successfully was successful at doing that, was I'm just gonna say was she like imprisoned in like a server somewhere, and you just had her network connection severed, or
She mainly resides here. That's why I'm in the room.
oh, you talk to her?
You can. She doesn't have access to the complex's network either.
Mm-hmm.
She's tried to infiltrate some, but he's very hostile and has a number of netrunners assisting him. But if you have the network capability to jack in, then you to connect and speak with her. Otherwise, you can type on the keyboard here.
Sid cracks his knuckles.
Let me introduce you to my friend Zid, our resident netrunner. Have at it, Zid.
Before we dive into the deep end, friend, when we first arrived here, I did hack into an errant port and was subject immediately to some fairly significant threats. And he would list them off, the Scorpion and everything, all within a very short amount of net space. And it is, while my aptitude has improved while I have been here, it does make me a little nervous, man. Do you happen to have anything that might be of assistance in this area that I can...
Well, for speaking with her, you should have no issue. It's her network, and I would just let her know. And apart from that, I would have to go look in the storage, see if I can...
Alright, well...
Does she have a name?
She goes by Blue Angel.
Okay.
Which was also the name. All right. I wanted it to be...
Well, Zid would spend some time making a list of any questions that... I can hear these guys anyway in the net space, but I want to just make sure that he's got a relatively good idea of what Seamus and Blackstone might want to ask, and then he can converse with them further if needed. But he just wants to check in with them and say, is there anything like really pressing that we need to ask Blue Angel before he connects? So he's not like fussing about and checking in constantly, and he wants to seem to be to her fairly knowledgeable and not have to worry too much.
I think our biggest question is where we start to get out of here. I mean, that's our goal. What's our best chance of that? Where do we need to start? What do we need to do? I think if we have a direction to go, we'll be doing a lot better. Right now, we're just wandering around.
And I would say that I would offer our services if there's anything that she needs us to do, like from a physical standpoint, that we can resolve for her. If she has any quests, so to speak, that we can take on.
Okay. So where do we start to get out? What's our best chance? What do we need to do? What direction do we go? What might we need? What has been done to the connection? What barriers might she have that we might be able to help her with? And what quests or what additional stuff might she have that could help us or her in the situation? Also, maybe what groups already down here might be able to help us. Resources they might have that we can use. What these tunnel snakes are about. Does the mind actually know?
Dead.
Well, we don't know that, right? We don't know.
Well,
that
I mean,
they're
you
all
killed
dead.
them all.
All the ones in that room, but
True.
we saw other gang.
Other groups, not that group.
Yeah. So Zid, before he connects, he would say, the others who we came across, they said that you might have information about the various and many groups that reside down here, and what sort of resources and goals they might have, and perhaps that we might find as barriers to further exploration, or potentially as stepping stones.
Well, took out the biggest group that was a threat to the area. The militant ones that you faced up there. There's a minor other groups, but nothing major to deal with. Apparently you enjoy blood or something.
It just happens to be what we're good at.
He pushes play on the screen and you see the image of two different videos watching someone in the party decap people.
Zid kind of dry retches.
That's not about
Maeve.
blood. That's about protecting our own and getting our bodies back and getting the hell out of this place.
Well, no one in this area will really be able to aid you in that endeavor a whole lot, given that,
Why are we here then?
I don't know. Why are you here?
Because
You
we were
sent-
told that someone in this area can help us.
I mean, based on what I'm seeing, you don't seem to be rejected bodies or whatever movement, so you sent down here for something by him. So that does not bode well.
Yeah, we would be forthcoming and say that the overseer, this power, this eye, sent us down here and said to fix the problems, to clean it up, and didn't really give us any specifics, just said, go the heck down there and sort it out, right? So
That is not good.
came down here knowing that we probably were not going to do that, right? But that we wanted to see what was actually happening, to see whether there might be something that can help all of us to get the heck out of here. We don't want to be here as much as any of you do.
So I'm pretty sure that the main problem that we were supposed to take care of is sitting in front of us. And taking care of that problem is probably putting to bed any thoughts of us getting out of here, quote unquote. So, unfortunately, the only way for us to get out of here is going to be to fail, quote unquote, well, fail our mission.
Or there might be another way, Blackstone. Perhaps there is a marker that we might take of yours, mind, that might prove to the Overseer that you have met your demise. A marker that would be false, but that the Overseer might take as proof that you are gone. And we might solve two things, and that might propel us high enough to make us be able to access better areas up there and find where our bodies and potentially other bodies might be, so that we might get out.
Seamus is smiling bigger than you've ever seen him smile before and slaps you on the back. That's what I was talking about not too long ago when I said we make it seem like we fixed the problem, but we don't. Now you're getting it, Zed.
Very wise, Seamus. Yes. So, yeah, he would ask, point blank, is there something that we might be able to take back?
Let me see if I can find something of mine days that he might recall. I will let you speak with the Blue Angel. Will I do so?
Very good.
While Zid's getting ready to check in and the mind is looking for what he's looking for, Seamus is gonna kind of pull Blackstone and Doc off to the side and quietly, where hopefully the mind and probably Zid can't hear, and says, Doc, Blackstone, I don't think this Overseer's gonna take just a trinket and think that we killed the mind. You know,
I agree. I don't think he would.
I hate to see it, but any time I've been sent to procure someone, they've required, let's say, DNA to show that they're dead, a body part. That's a bit more proof than, you know, oh, this is his necklace, this is the ring he's wearing. Like, you can easily take that off. But what sane person is gonna chop an ear off a person and leave him alive, or a finger or something?
So I don't think that for someone that uses a computer all day, I can imagine that taking a hand would probably be thought-provoking.
To be clear, I didn't say anything about taking a hand, but if that's what you think it'll take, then
Just spitballing here.
I mean, at that point we can say that's all was left of him when we're done.
Absolutely.
I didn't keep this from Zid to to think that we can't trust him. I just don't want him throwing up again.
So a hand might be too much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a special program that is essential to his cyber deck. I don't know, like if he's a net runner. Maybe there's like a special signature program that the Overlord had been coveting all these years that the mind came up with, and he's never been able to properly emulate it or replicate it, and maybe that's what he's looking for.
And that's fine. I'm just saying that if he brings back some small trinket that anyone could have or that we could find anywhere, that we may need to suggest that we have something more. And I don't particularly want to be the only one suggesting it, seeing as how my kneecapping was just brought up as a bad thing. Now, I don't want to be accused of just being wanting to chop people's body parts off.
You're welcome to say that I suggested it, but I think that something non-harmful is probably best to start with from a negotiating standpoint, and then we can move to body parts if need be. But I would prefer to not have to lop off body parts.
I totally agree. This is not something that I want to do, but we can't afford to be questioned about it if it doesn't seem true. Now I can talk my way through most situations. I don't think I can talk the AI into believing me if I don't put my best foot forward.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
All of us?
The two of you, anyway. So, 16 and a 19. So the 19 would have it. The 16 doesn't quite. Well, while Seamus is saying this, Blackstone, you notice the camera in the corner shift its focal.
Open its aperture a bit more.
Hmm?
Open its aperture a bit more.
Yeah. So you know there's a camera right there looking at you.
And I'll say this in a hushed tone. Seamus, we're being watched and probably recorded, so talk in a very, very, very hushed tone.
Let's just hope that's the AI girly and not something or someone else. Zid, are you ready yet?
Yeah, I'm on.
Alright, let's get this thing rolling.
Oh.
When the DM laughs, it's already too late.
Pretty standard jack point.
He does, and we have something for this. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bum ba
So you load in, you see you're like in a courtyard, and this isn't like not current modern net architecture or anything. This is very different.
Okay, so I'm in a courtyard. I look around, see if there's like any like pillars, buildings, entrances,
Doorway.
flags?
There's a doorway in front of you. And the rest around you is like a courtyard. But instead of walls, you can see like data streams.
Okay, so Zid looks about him and he absorbs what he sees and he tries to distinguish any like standout features of his immediate scene and to try and remember those for the next sort of 10 minutes. So he sort of just like looks around, there might be a rose bush or something, or just like those little features, and he wants to remember just a handful of them just in case he's asked about his surroundings. He believes that he might be put into some kind of test here, and so he's sort of just taking that snapshot before he walks through the door, and then he walks through the door.
Okay. You walk through the door, you see a large, like, courtyard or throne room. In there, you see a bunch of hellhounds. But not like what you normal default hellhounds, like modified special hellhounds, like amped up. And a lady sitting up on a throne with two of very large ones next to her. Like they're her pets. Welcome.
It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. They refer to you as Blue Angel. Is this how you would like to be called?
That is an acceptable designation.
An acceptable designation. Okay. I am Zid. I have a more fuller name, Zidane. And, I, on this surface, was a disciple, if you will, of Anansi, the spider. You may have heard of this figure. Perhaps too recent for you, I'm not sure.
But I've been locked inside.
So it may seem. We are relatively new here, having been brought down from the surface fairly recently, within the last fortnight or so. And, we have experienced much, and we would very much like to get back to our bodies on the outside, and very much like to liberate people down here who have that desire also.
Understand?
We do not see the Overseer or the Eye as a good person, a good being, but instead would rebel against the nastiness of its presence.
I understand. He is a foul sword, that's for sure. Doesn't seem to think that choice isn't acceptable. When decisions can be made for you. That are
choice
in his mind
that we covet. Indeed. So, I have a lot of questions, but I do not want to sit here and ask them all day.
Let's go.
But he would start to, like, ask these fielding questions that he came here with.
Yeah.
So, you know, we want to get out. Where do we start? What's our best chance of doing this? What do we need to do? What are the things that might help us with that? What things might we need? What resources are there as well, like people resources, item resources that we might be able to key into and gather together? What might she need to, like, could she help us? Is there something that we can do to help her? All of these things are things that he would be investigating this time.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break there because we're going to be getting in the roll right after that. It's going to be rolling. So let's do our quick 10-minute break here if you guys are good with that.
Okay.
And then we'll pick up and roll with the rest of it.
All right.
Thank you all for being here. We'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll continue this crazy story. Sid finds out. And we're back. Thank you all for your patience as I sort out some crazy, and yeah. Such is life. But hey, neither here nor there, we're gonna press on, have fun, get stuff done. So, we left off with the idea of speaking with the blue within her domicile. Her net. Which, since she's an AI, it makes sense that her domicile is a net. And he was asking for information, guidance, details. Did I miss anything? I may have. Or is that kind of the gist of it?
Those sorts of things, yeah.
And so, he waits for a reply. You see she moves her hands and streams of data flick through. Ah, yes. So before my connection was terminated by that fool, there is some uncharted passages, natural caves, that reside in the area. That is where a lot of the rebel groups are based. Find the natural caverns and these rebel groups, and they would be the ones who are able to help you lead to the exit. The only other way to get in and out of the complex is via the official means, which are heavily controlled by the Jade Baron. He indeed is tyrannical, and so probably does not allow any flesh individuals to those locations, because they are less absolute control than his mechanical servants. Now, if you wish to find your original forms, you'll want to find the labs where they reside. Be warned, they may or may not have begun undergoing experiments or mutations upon your food. They have not damaged you too far, but I do not know. As my data streams to that area is unavailable. But I do wish you the best, and I will try to find the name of the rebel individuals who have had dealings with us before.
Is she familiar with how her connection was established in the first place and what changed when the Overseer interrupted it?
Yeah, they found they had a cable network in the natural caverns that they set up, and she actually pulls up image and shows you. But they still had to get to the relay signals and equipment that Life Tech set up. And he found it and sent agents to terminate it and guard it. And you see her footage is cut as she sees them moving in.
Sounds like we have a new mission.
Yeah. Is the path to those caverns changed? Does she have any idea about that?
She does not know. Like, she shows you the caverns, but she doesn't know the path there.
Okay.
And she told you, like, she can only know what she's connected to, right? Camera-wise.
For sure, yeah.
And like she pulls up almost like architect style, like all the cameras around this section of the base.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Including a little video of your friends over there whispering.
Yeah. As it just notes that that's happened. Yeah. She has cameras all over this section. All right. Cool. So, as far as resources, human resources
There's
and equipment resources.
not a lot of equipment here. You're welcome to it. The rebels would be the best human resource capability available. The only other resource I could offer you is one that may be a bit invasive. I could download myself to your mind.
Right.
But there is risks involved in that.
Everyone else is like, yeah, man, yeah!
And
do it!
The side effects are unknown.
Alright. Cool. Zid immediately jumps off the topic, but he might come back to it. What has done? So we know what was done to the connection. We know that there's likely to be guards. We know that we're not sure of the exact path, so that's a barrier in our way in the form of just the unknown and what might be there as far as getting us there. Does she need any help herself? Like, what is her desire in all of this, and is there, in addition to anything that we've already discussed, any other way that we might be able to help?
Two things on that. Thank you for reminding me. I said I'm a little bit scatterbrained due to what we talked about.
Sure.
Two things. On the bottom floor, there's another one of those generators. She shows you the one upstairs that Blackstone enabled. That could be rain enabled. And she would like to be free of this place. This tomb, this prison that I am forced to reside in. I'd like to leave and see the world. Being confined in space is not desirable at all.
Okay. Zid asks her a fielding question, and that is, so when you see all of these screens, these cameras, what capacity do you have to remember and recall and assess all of these cameras at once? Is your computing capacity enough to absorb and assess it all at once, or do you need time to focus in?
My current capacity does allow me to comprehend it all immediately, but it is based on the hardware that I am connected to.
Sure.
As you know, resources are required to do the processing, and my capabilities are directly connected to the hardware I have.
Directly proportional
to basically
to her hardware.
Better hardware, better mind. It's just her mind is one that can be upgraded, right? She can upgrade her brain where you can't necessarily.
So Zid would say this. If I were to allow a download of your consciousness into mine, obviously there are dangers to you and to me. Your capacity for computation may decrease or may increase, and so may mine. We might struggle against each other if we are both in the same space. That may be dangerous to you, and it may be that I am destroyed, and therefore you would be, because you are not safe in your current network, but in mine, and if my brain were to die, so would you. There is a lot of risks to me, to you. I see this as a trade and as an opportunity for freedom that we both desire. I would ask one thing of
Certain.
you. That is, if you come into my space, that you would pay special attention to anything that might pertain to my family and to the number one desires of my companions here. In Blackstone's case, his family, and in Seamus's case, what would it be for you, Seamus? Was there a connection on the outside that you were? I've just forgotten about that whole thing.
So Seamus's thing is that some either government official or corpo official has caused a death in his family, and he's trying to correct that.
Okay, and so Zid would communicate that, and Docs as well, whatever Docs was, and he would say, these 4 things are very important to us. The things that keep us sane, the things that keep us wanting to get out in the first place. And if you are able to pay attention to things that might pertain to this, I would accept to be your carrier for a time. And if such a time exists that you and I find a capability to transfer you to somewhere safe on the outside, that would be most desirable as and would that be desirable to you also if we found that capability?
Indeed.
Very well. He would say, just one moment. I want to check in with my companions.
Before
and I
you
just
go.
need to lose focus for one moment.
Before you go, I did check the
Yes.
records that were present in this old complex, and there's no mention of your family here. Records of that must reside, if they do, in the main complex with the Overseer.
It is my belief that it is not live tech. Well, perhaps it is, but the information is instead held by another corporation. But perhaps them names may be on some database somewhere. But it is not just for me, but for all of us. That is why I mention it. Perhaps you may see something that might pertain to it and bring that to my attention, because as a human, I miss things. I do not have your computation power, or you might say that my brain capacity only siphons so much of the power into my brain at once, unlike yourself.
I understand. My best to do so.
Alright, he would excuse himself for a second, check in with his companions, and make sure that there's nothing else that they would ask before he goes through with this.
I think I'm good.
I am perfectly fine.
He would
Plus, if you're gonna have her in your head, and you can ask later.
you
if
can
you
ask
need to.
anytime. And as he goes back in, the last thing that he would say before he refocuses back to her again would be, that is a very interesting bald spot on your head, Blackstone. Zoop, zoop. Because he wants them to know that he can see them through the camera. So that is his double speak there.
That was his little cheeky way of saying, I see.
See you. And yeah, he flips back to her and he goes, okay, I am ready to prepare. What process needs there be for this transference to take place?
Your willingness, acceptance, and your be open-minded. Are you ready?
He will breathe in a big, deep breath. He would take everything into his body, and those on the outside would see his chest expand, and as his lungs do, and you see it like fully come out, and then very slowly, very intentionally, he lets it all out, and as he lets it out, you would see his lips move on the outside, and you wouldn't necessarily hear what he says, but you could potentially read them. And you would see just a flow of all of the things that are most important to Zid. His family, his companionship with you would be amongst these. Anansi the spider, this hacker that leaves cryptic information on the outside. These things would be breathed out in his lips as he relaxes, and his whole body would just come on down, and then it would stop, and you would, for quite some time, like 30 seconds, that seems like forever, he would not breathe, and then he would say to her, I am ready, and as the transference happens, he would start to breathe again.
I need to roll
Sure.
an interface check,
Sure.
which is going to affect the difficulty of resist torture drugs.
Alright.
So the better you get on the one, the better you're going to be able to do on the other. The easier it's going to be, or the harder.
Yeah. Now, on a interface check, am I allowed to spend luck? I don't think so,
I
right?
think you can spend it on any roll.
Okay.
You have 4 luck, so if you go roll and you click interface, yeah, you can spend your luck there.
Okay. What I'm thinking is, my rank hasn't changed either. I did spend some points into that. How do I...
You did, I can see that. Yeah, if you just do
Okay.
rank and you put 5. Like that.
Come off and back. Yep, okay, now that's worked.
So, and then if anyone ever wants to verify that you spent the points, you can look at your
Yeah, it's in
thing
the
and you can see
list.
roll improved. Did you up your deduction, persuasion, and cybertech?
Yes.
Okay.
I figured that those were the things that made the most sense to what has happened so far, and to Zid's personality.
Yeah. No, I really do appreciate that you guys are using the role play and the story to influence where you spin the IP. I really think that's cool. That's a really good way that helps reinforce that story that has happened with the skills your character has. I mean,
Yeah.
a throwback, that was actually one thing I really was excited about when I played Dungeon Siege, is that you could actually, the skill went up as you, that was the first game I played where the skills went up as you used. That is awesome.
Sure. Now, because of my wounded state, I do have a -2 on these rolls.
Remove the -2 for now.
Okay.
So you can just do a mod of 2.
Question: Is there anything I can do to help, like with like cyber tech or electronic security?
Not right now.
Okay.
Alright, I am going to...
The only thing that would have helped is if Doc had taken his heal that I think he said he was planning on doing and gave him a quick heal that would get rid of that -2. But I'm going to, I think he was planning on doing that. I said go ahead and leave -2 off.
Yeah, okay. I've taken it to 0 mods in that case. I'm thinking I'm going to spend 1 luck on the interface roll because the resist torture drugs is pretty low for me.
Okay.
And I feel like that side of the roll might be more important, and I might dump the rest of the luck in there. And I've only got 4 to spend. Otherwise, I could do 2-2 potentially. But I'm going to do 1-3, I think.
Yeah, no,
because I think that this is super important.
there's arguments both ways for it, like you said. But yeah, it's
Right, so,
definitely worth trying to ensure it goes well.
And here, chat, before we make this roll, this is pretty interesting in my view, is if we get a 1 on any of these rolls, we're going to have a bad time. Where my hope here is that anything other than a 1 on these rolls will be good. So let's hope. Let's cross our fingers and hope. So I'm going to spend 1 luck on this. We're going to roll that die. That is nice. We have a 13 on interface, which is pretty significant, I think, for an interface roll. So where does that leave us?
That leaves you with your resist torture drugs roll.
And you want me to remove the -2 mod from that as well?
Yeah. I'm assuming basically that Doc was going to give you speed heal is why.
Yeah, and I'll spend the rest of my luck on this. Off we go. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. So we got a total of 19 on that.
Excellent. So the interface is basically your understanding and the data and the transfer, right? And then the resist torture drug is because your mind and your body are not made to have another being like this downloaded to your consciousness. And you actually feel the connection back to your main body.
Oh.
Like you feel that strain basically between the two, and it hurts. It is excruciatingly painful.
Sure.
You feel like you're going to black out, but you barely hold together.
Okay, so in this case then, let me take this off for a second because I'm going to be loud. So, as you both see Zid's breath just finish and you wait 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, he doesn't breathe, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, it's starting to get a bit uncomfortable, 30 seconds, and he starts to breathe in. And as he does, as he breathes in, this is a short intake of breath, very, very quick, just like, and then he screams, Rah! And he screams. His whole body contorts, his whole face contorts. You see ripples in his cheeks and down his neck. It's almost kind of like being in a wind tunnel and the wind is, or in a very fast car and you know, your whole face blows up, your mouth opens much wider. It's almost like that, just the visceral pain. You see his fingernails like crunch into his fists, and you see blood pouring out of his palms as his fingernails pierce his skin. He's in that much pain.
Yeah, like you guys see just like this excruciating look on his face. Like his skin, like he turns colors. Like there is such thing as people getting a greenish tint to their skin because of the amount of pain they're in. And you actually see him do this. Like he's just like...
Seamus is looking frantically between Zid to Doc to Blackstone, Zid, Doc, Blackstone. Just like lingering on Blackstone for a moment, and then back to Sid, because.
So I'm gonna. Am I like within like reaching distance, or am I like far away?
You're a few steps away.
Okay, so
You're not
I
like
I,
on the
I
far
walk
far
up.
away, but you're
Yeah.
not like right there either.
So I walk up to him and like I'm looking at him, like I'm looking in his eyes. I don't know if he can see me, but I'm looking at him and I see how much pain you're in, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I just want him to know that I'm there to support him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you saw him only take that tiny intake of breath, and he screamed much more than he breathed out. And you know that there must be no breath there. And as you lay your hand on his shoulder, you see his eyes. You see them rolling back into the back of his head. You see his head jerking back and forth, and you feel it in the shoulders and in the chest as you lay your hand there. And you know that he's about to pass out. And as you just press your thumb into the shoulder, you see that stop. And you wait for a second. And then you see the eyeball very slowly starting to roll back. But it's bloodshot, like completely red. There's no white in his eye anymore. And as his eyeball rolls forward, and the normal brown of his eye is just red instead.
Sid, are you there, buddy? Are you there,
see it
friend?
come back.
Are you there, friend? Breathe. Just breathe. We're all here. All your friends are here. You okay?
He's doubled over,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't right himself just yet. He's just doubled over and he's looking at the ground, and he says to Blackstone, "Ugh. You're dead, man."
I put my hand on his back. Take your time, friend. Take your time.
Okay.
Those of you who have seen people tortured and seen suffering, this was a shock. See, but he seems like he's alive and like he should be himself.
So, for those who have played 2077, is this a similar feeling to at the very beginning when like V gets the silver hand download?
No, that was a construct. This is not a construct.
Okay.
This is basically a foreign entity downloaded directly to Zid's brain.
Okay.
And it is an AI, not a construct.
Okay.
So it's similar in the sense that there is a digital that's present,
Okay.
but it is also separate.
Okay.
It's kind of its own thing.
Sure. Thanks for clarifying.
That's part of why he had to roll those, because it wasn't a standard and slot the chip and it does its job.
Yeah.
It was this is not the way things are meant to work. We're gonna do it anyways, and it's not gonna work pretty.
Yeah, but this is what we need to do for it to move forward. So we're just gonna do it and hope for the best.
It was one of two options that she gave you.
Yes.
Kumpasa e puta.
Oh god, now we need a priest.
Come again. Come again, friend.
He will drop in and out of English here, of common.
Oh boy.
I think, as he begins to stand himself back up, that process of going from like doubled over to righted, he would have to like lean on you or lean on a chair.
Yep.
And as he rights himself, he would begin to sing. And singing is like a very it's not really singing, but it's just like a rhyme that has that rhythm of singing, but there's
Kinda like
no
a mantra.
atonal. Yeah. And you hear the words and it's in a different language, and this is his mother singing to him in the bassinet, this ancient Jamaican lullaby, if there is one, and I'm sure there probably is.
Oh, there, yeah. Every culture has one.
And he is muttering that in the mother tongue.
Yeah.
As he writes himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Blackstone and Seamus's head right now as they witness this going on with their associate here?
So I'm looking at him like in just shock and awe. And during the download, whenever he wasn't breathing, I was genuinely, like, Blackstone was genuinely building an extreme level of concern, and I can imagine that there were probably like beads of sweat building up on his brow, and just trying to understand and empathize, even though I've never had that experience before. Just having, I do remember a time when like Blackstone may have taken, maybe he was like extremely injured and he had to like have some special drug, and there was a very kind of like chemotherapy, but not to the same degree, but it was nothing like what I just witnessed. So just being that support resource is very important to him.
Sense. Seamus?
We the four of us are Zid's family right now, and just being that support network. Go ahead, Shane.
Seamus is just like staring wide-eyed right now. He's continuing to glance over at Doc and Zid, and Doc and Zid. He's definitely worried about Zid, but he's also very concerned because he may have heard Zid speak another language before, but never this much. Like, this makes it very obvious that something weird has happened. So he's kind of looking over at Doc and like with this look of like, should you go help him? And he's watching Blackstone as well, just so that he can see if he's needed at any point.
Blackstone?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So yeah, they're coming. Gonna come through there.
If I do I'm sorry. If I do like any kind of human perception, is that gonna do anything?
Right.
Yeah. Here, let's do that. And I just want to see if I can pick up on anything from like just a base human, like if anything that I had experienced previously had, so that I can get a better experience. 13 probably not going to do it, but
So you got a 13?
Yeah.
Wound perception. Yeah. So you get the basis that he's undergone something severe, but it doesn't seem as much physical as more like internal, like he had like a stroke or something. It kind of gives you reminiscence of when you saw someone had a stroke or a seizure.
Okay.
It's a lot more internal, not so much your body.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Sid, how are you doing with this? Start trying to pull yourself together. You see this concerned look on their faces of these people who you've been traveling with. Genuine concern. And like, are you, hey dude, do anything they describe? Just looking.
Other than the pain, I imagine that's forefront right now.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any other sense? Is there communication or
No communication as of yet. Just this intense sense of like overload, but like mental drain.
Yeah.
Like your head just got beaten hard, like internally.
Yeah. So Zid, he stops mid-verse as you ask him this question.
As I asked the question earlier, you mean?
No, well, so he stops mid-verse as he sees your faces. So you see the eyes start to focus, and he stops mid-verse as he sees your expressions. You see looking back and forth, deep concern, and you see his eyebrows like just crunch, his whole face crunch. He puts his hand up to his eyes and he rubs them, and just going back and forth, almost massaging. And he says, I don't know what it would be like to feel like being born all over again. But if I were to imagine it, that is how my brain feels. Like I've been born once more.
That's it, yeah. He's definitely possessed.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, shut up. You ever been on a bender, man?
Not one that made me talk whatever that was that you were just saying.
It sounded like I've got some education background. Let me is there a way that I can figure out what that was? Let me roll education real quick.
That's education. I reckon that's pretty good.
I'll roll
I could see
education real quick.
I was going to see what other ones would fit too.
I mean, like I've got like local expert and like street slang, but I don't really have anything else other than education that would really work very well. Maybe deduction, but I think education is probably better.
Deduction actually would be a good one. It's not going to tell you exactly, but I could see deduction being a good one.
Yeah, let's
basically connect the dots between, right?
16. And that's a terrible roll.
You're 16. Not sure, but it has similar cadence and feel as he was doing it, like nursery rhymes and stuff.
Okay.
Never heard this one. Makes no sense to you, but
yeah,
it has kind of that beat, that cadence.
Yeah.
And Zid would say, "What do you mean, man? What did I say?"
You were singing this what sounded like a lullaby, and it was in something that sounds similar to Jamaican. I don't know if it was a cultural, it's not like a language that is only like spoken like within like a certain, like a village, like your home village where you grew up or something. I don't know, but it was definitely not common street slang or anything like that we had ever heard before.
I don't know, man. I can't say I know any lullabies, just the normal ones,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
All you're doing right now by talking is proving my point.
He goes, "Well, all right. Well, what can I say to not prove your point?"
Seamus just shrugs.
same. I just shake my head and just tell him that I'm glad he's not dead.
I have never felt pain quite like that.
I can imagine
I'm
not many
sorry,
others have.
Seamus. I'm sorry that you feel this way. That it seems so not me. I can only try to be who I am, who you know. Perhaps a good rest. Some 40 winks might help.
I think a good rest would do everyone great.
As long as you're you, I don't have any problems. Just. And Seamus shivers. As long as you're you. I've had enough of us not being us.
Yeah.
As he talks, it would seem more akin to the Zid that you've gotten to know over a while. I imagine this wouldn't be instant, but it would take some time. But as you're communicating, probably there's a sense of the Zid that you expect coming back.
Yeah.
Do his eyes clear up, or are they still straight red?
I think that they would be bloodshot for a while, but I don't think they would be completely bloodshot. I think that they would start to
Normalize?
clear up.
Okay.
I don't know the physics of that, so
Sure. I mean, your brain just got shocked.
Yeah, it
your
wouldn't be
brain just
surprising
basically
if
got completely wrecked. So, totally understand if the brain just decides to send blood elsewhere for.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it would, which is why I explained it this way. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you did a great job, man. I really appreciate it. Like that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that was perfect.
Absolutely.
thanks.
So.
All right, so yeah, Zid looks to the door and he says, "Did you get what you came here for?"
We haven't talked to him about that yet. We were hoping that the lady would maybe give us a hint on what would be helpful, but it's okay. Let's see what the mind found. Oh, Mr. Mind. Did you find anything, sir?
Yes, here's my old badge and one of the test pieces that we did, and some technical data. Hopefully
Test.
these will work.
Test pieces?
Yes.
What test? Like, what? Describe this piece.
Early forms of attempts at cloning. It is a finger that's not mine.
I look at Seamus, and I raise my eyebrows. Like, what you think, buddy?
Could
that'll
they
do?
tell that it's not, that it's a clone?
Is your DNA identical?
It is a clone. By definition of clone, yes.
Yes,
That's-
but you
Can
said
they tell that it's a clone?
Only if you give it to them in the box that says clone tissue.
Right, that'll work. That'll do.
oh,
So
That'll do.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
this little case that is basically, stamped. It's cloning,
Yeah.
clone tissue preserved, container.
Is
And
the so is the finger like a clean cut, or does it look like we like severed it in a?
right now
um,
it's not seen. You'd have to open it,
Okay.
but
I
then it
would-
starts decomposing 'cause it's not
Ball.
attached.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as long as it's not going to shrivel up into dust in the next few
Yeah.
minutes. Like,
I mean, to be fair,
we
like,
don't want it to be, we don't want it to
Yeah.
look like we freshly cut it off right
Yeah.
before we walk in the door. So
Yeah, I mean, like, if we so
Yeah.
theoretically, if we were to kill you and take your finger, it's going to start decomposing immediately. So whip the finger out and let's have a peek.
He's like,
Wait, what are we talking about now?
it's fine, Zid. Yes,
Just chopping his
let's
finger
give us
off.
the finger.
so he's like, here you go. Hands you it. You just push that and it opens.
I mean, is it so on it like so this kind of matters. Like, is it the index finger, a thumb, what?
It's an index finger.
Okay, all right. That's okay. I mean, yeah, let's see what it looks like, and if it looks a little too clean, we might have to take that scalpel that
So
Duck's got on him and lop off a little bit.
you open it up and you do see it looks like a fairly clean cut.
This looks like it was done in too slow of a fashion. I think we're gonna have to make this look a little more crude. Although maybe Doc has the smarts and the experience to make it a nice clean cut. We can decide that later.
Here's the thing. Do you want to say that we killed him and cut off a finger? Or do we want to say this was all that was left of him and that's why we brought it back?
So if it was all that was left of him, that means that he was dead and this has been decomposing for a while. So this doesn't
Not
look like
necessarily. We could have just done that much damage to him.
okay.
I-
So we
I'm
lobbed
asking,
a
I'm
grenade
asking
in
for
there.
the best plan.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I just
so
want to make sure that we have the best chance of
Yeah.
succeeding here.
absolutely. So if we were to say tell them that we lobbed a grenade in there, you're muted.
We can't say that because they didn't give us any grenades. It would have to be another type of explosion down here.
So.
Well, we turned the vent on, man. Perhaps it was backed up and there was a misfire in the mechanism. And poor unfortunate soul here got caught in the backdraft.
He's like looking at you odd because, yeah, you're not actually talking about him, but you're talking about how many morbid ways he could possibly die, right? It's kind of like, you know, if you heard someone talking about, no, if your fuel tank exploded when you're right on top of it, it would, you know, so you're not actually talking about killing him, but still the thought of...
It's still a little off,
Yep.
yeah.
Speaking of questions like that, Seamus goes, what do you think would happen if we shot one of these energy cells?
Shot one.
You mean?
Would it explode?
Oh, you mean like if I take my pistol and I shoot one of the energy cells?
Seamus snaps and like points at you.
You got it.
All right, I'm down. I'm game. We can always see what happens.
I mean, obviously we don't do it in here.
Sure.
We take it in another room and we do it. But we also have to make sure that we can make the finger look like it was part of that without putting it in there. Because if we were to put the finger in there, we could blow it up.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Do you mean like, so cause an explosion? Not like a big explosion, but just enough that we can take the end of the finger, like not the nail end, but the severed end, and maybe sear it, yeah, singe it a bit.
No, we keep the finger completely away from the explosion. We figure out another way to make the finger to look like it's been through an explosion. But we make an explosion just in case they have some type of sensors down here.
Okay.
And we don't end up going up there and saying, oh, this is all that was left after we blew up the mine.
Yeah.
Because I know Doc
out.
is morbid enough to say it.
Yeah.
He reminds you that there's a number of dead bodies upstairs that you could explode to see the exact damage that would be required to put on the finger.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it.
Perfect. Let's go.
I mean, heck, I can throw one of my things and just like do it like shooting a grenade.
You can try it. And Raven, if you're watching, I'm not trying to put words in Doc's mouth, just how you've played him. I could definitely see Doc being all down with that sort of an experiment.
Let's do it. I'm good.
Alright, sounds good.
All right, Mr. Mine, thank you very much for your cooperation.
It might be advantageous to you if you have been working in more visible or audible ways more recently, that you perhaps lie on the down low for a little while.
Oh, I haven't been doing that for quite a while. That militant group that you dealt with there was, I'll take it very kindly to others, so I've kind of just been here quietly on my own.
Very good, then. I think we understand each other.
And you look like. Do you have enough food, or do you have any supplies? Like, are you short, or? And I show him some of the MREs and the energy bars that I have. Would this help?
You might need those for trading.
Okay.
The rebels, the outcasts, the abominations, whatever you choose to call them.
Sure.
Is there anything else the rebels might find of particular value?
Options, weapons, food, medical supplies, you know. Anything to survive would probably be helpful to them.
and most of the armor that the elites had and stuff was pretty shot up, right? But they
Armory.
did have weapons and stuff that we might be able to trade off.
I think I still had some of the. Well, I remember I broke down most of those assault rifles.
Yeah, you broke.
Yeah, I still have one that I can trade, but pretty sure
And the
we're gonna have to-
snipers?
There weren't any snipers, right?
The elites
They
had
were.
two.
They had assault rifles, but they're
Oh, right.
acting like snipers.
Okay.
Well, anything that we can salvage off them can be used to trade to the rebels. That'd be cool.
Mhm.
That's still there anyway.
You're gonna have weapon parts. I'm sure weapon parts will be fine, or I can maybe fabricate. I can help them with any of the weapons and armor repairs that they need. I'm happy to trade skills for whatever.
Anything that we can do to get a leg up in this situation would be good.
Indeed, I agree. All right, off to the caverns.
Before Zid leaves, he would approach this old man and he would say, "The Blue Angel would like to thank you for watching over her."
Oh. Did you have a good talk with her?
Zid doesn't know whether she wants
can-
this guy to know this.
Yeah, you can tell he's not aware of the transaction that happened.
He would say, "I did have a good talk with her, and she told me of a great dream that one day she would like to see the surface once more,
Yes.
to be free of this place. It is my hope that perhaps someday, through some action of my own, that this might be possible."
How do I say it without saying it? Yes, that is why I was hoping you could get the connection so she could reach out and see the world.
I will do everything in my power to make that happen. You have my word. That more than that, I cannot give.
I appreciate it.
I look at the mind and I echo the sentiment. We'll all do what we can to make this a reality for her.
I thank you for it.
All right.
So you guys want to rest here before you head on? Or are you going to rest somewhere else, or what's the plan?
I mean, I think that like
For you.
How are we on HP?
Hurt across the board.
Yeah, I think resting here is probably a good idea.
Do you know how much you heal per day?
8?
Your body stat.
Oh,
It's just
yeah,
your
okay.
body stat.
Alright. Yeah, so I'm definitely not 8. That's only if you get 8, obviously.
Body
I'm at 6.
5. Okay. So 5 gets me to a grand total of 17. But there was a quick heal. Do we want to resolve the quick heal?
I was hoping Raven verify, but yeah.
Wait, you're at 17 HP and Blackstone's at what?
29 after the heal.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man, like, evasion's powerful.
Well, I'm at 37 before anything. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, I got shut up pretty
You
well.
gotta shut up. I mean, Raven's at shit. He's at like 14, but I'm I'll move him up to 20. Oh no, he takes more. He's at 21. Excuse me.
I remember it being body stat.
Yeah. So Raven's bodies is 21, or Raven's bodies 7. So
I'm trying to find the.
That's alright. It's not as important.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zid is definitely grateful to sleep. He still looks pretty like rough in the morning, or in the neck, however long it takes, but he's acting much more like himself.
and don't forget to reload your stuff. Reload your weapons.
Yeah, done.
Because my stuff was still sitting there with empty. So everybody's got full luck. We've got full weapons. We've got a full night of rest.
Well, I've spent all my luck, but that's okay.
Oh no,
Was it worth it?
It was.
Oh yeah,
to me
it
it was absolutely
definitely
worth it. I think she's gonna come in like super handy.
I hate to be this guy, but I know we've already figured out what healing we do and all that stuff if we take a rest. Are we gonna be okay to rest down here overnight? Like, are we gonna get in some shit with the overseer?
I mean, the overseer just said go and do the thing. We didn't get a
it's
time
not,
frame.
yeah. Because technically we're not on the network, right? Because I mean, we still haven't
Not exactly.
I mean, it's
yeah, but I mean, we haven't come back, so it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like, are they dead, or you know?
I mean, if we come back with our tail between our legs, whether we go back right now or go back later, it's still showing that. I don't know. Zid's, yeah, we're in a few different minds, I guess, but if we don't rest, Zid's at like 12.
And to be fair, I'm not saying don't rest. I'm bringing that point up so that we consider it, and then if we do rest, I'm all for it, and we can, if there's consequences, we can suffer them. I'm not entirely convinced that there will be, but at the same time, I don't trust that there won't be either.
Yeah, I think we just have to bite it this time, right?
I mean, like if for me, like if he says like, where have you been? Like we can show, hey, you know, here's this finger.
Yeah.
That got blown off, and like we got in a few firefights, you know, like we had to rest up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oleana's shut up. I
want to quickly say speed heal. You heal your body plus will.
Oh.
You can only take speed heal once per day. So the 2 most injured people can get a speed heal.
Oh.
And then,
So Raven speed heals himself, right?
Yeah. If he's the most damaged, it's whoever's the most damaged.
Okay.
I can find that.
Okay. So I gotta hang on. So Doc was at 14. Zid, you were at 12, right?
I was at 12, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna. So I get the feeling that Doc is probably gonna let you do the speed heal.
24.
You said it's the 2 most injured, right?
2 people.
Okay.
Because you can only benefit from speed heal once per day.
Alright, so Doc is gonna be up to 29 with.
Is that gonna be based on Doc's body and will?
Yes.
If he's doing it.
Oh my god.
No. Whoever takes it, it's based on theirs.
Okay.
Because it basically just accelerates your body's healing. It's a drug that your body uses. Bodies.
Okay. Alright, so Doc is up to 29. Zid, you're up to whatever, like you were at
27 if we get the night's rest and the speed heal. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Me and Seamus don't take the speed heal, but we get the overnight rest. So we get the body back. So I'm at 29. Seamus, you're at 37, and so...
I'm at 42.
42, okay. Alright. So,
Alright.
I feel pretty good. Off to...
Do we need to make any rolls to do this experiment with these bodies and stuff, or are you happy to narratively say we do that and we score the bingo?
Roll how well you do. Just
Yeah,
Blackstone's doing it. Let's have him roll a.
handgun.
Well, no. First, you're jimmy rigging
Yeah, okay.
cells to be able to do it.
So that's basic tech.
It's more the jimmy rig
Or demo?
demolitions that.
Okay. Wait a minute. So, is it my role? Like fabrication?
That
No,
actually
not
would
fab-
make sense. Yeah, fabrication.
Okay. So I'll take... Alright, so that's a 2.
I could see fabrication or invention.
Fabrication is better, so we'll do that. Field expertise is 3. I mean, but that's more repair.
Yeah.
Would that also? I mean, that's kind of like jerry rig, right?
You're more trying to unrepair something.
Okay.
So I don't know if I
Alright,
would
so
see that
we'll-
one working.
we'll
I
do
mean, I
I
could
think
fabrication.
Doc is good at that.
We'll do fabricate. It's fine. And I'll. So the way that my ability works, so I
Excuse
have
me a minute.
ability rank of 2, my stat, and then it says choose skill. So I'm wondering if it should be demolitions or if it should be basic tech. I mean, I'm not like rigging a demo charge.
I could
just
see it being
rigging...
demolition, but I could also.
No, like it's so in my role ability it says choose skill, so I'm adding that role to it. It says rolling for fabrication expertise, ability rank 2, stat tech 8, choose skill, and then it gives
I
it
see.
lists out the tech skills. So I can do weapons tech if I want. But I would say actually weapons tech because
Weapons tech.
It's
I could
an
see
ammo
weapons
charge.
tech.
Yeah, it's an ammo charge.
It'd either be weapons tech or electronic. It's an electrical thing, but I think weapons tech makes more sense.
I'm higher. Yeah, I'm higher in weapons tech, so I'll take that.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it also makes more sense. So I'll go ahead and roll.
That one. No, just kidding.
5 gets me a 21.
21 total. Nice. Yeah, so you're able to jimmy rig this thing, and it starts buzzing. You know the high electrical buzz?
Yeah. Yep. Like a short circuit.
Yeah, you hear that
Mm-hmm.
in this clip, and you toss it in there. So mark off 10 rounds of energy ammo. Whichever
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
And I take it you're doing this upstairs where there's not a bunch of life.
Yes.
Yeah, so you go up there and you set it off.
Okay.
There is a massive explosion, just energy release. You go into the room and like it is scorched and charred and devastated, almost like plasma release or something.
Okay.
Any body parts remain?
Only the ones that were in partial cover. Then just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's feasible.
Hey, Seamus, have a look.
It tends to be
Thoughts?
somewhat scarred and charred a bit, but it survived-ish.
Like you said,
Okay.
now we just need to find a way to make it look like that without doing that to it.
Yeah.
That's easy.
There you go.
So, who's gonna figure out how to do it?
That's Seamus' way of saying not it.
I think this is probably a good spot for. Let's see. Like maybe Doc would be able to figure this out. given his expertise with, well, me and Doc can work on it together. Like, he can kind of give me an idea of.
Yeah, collaborative effort.
Yeah,
probably.
collaborative. Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I would say. Let's see. Hang on.
Doing have a session today?
I don't really know like what kind of tech's around us and stuff, and exactly what tech, style stuff is in this world and all that stuff. I'm not exactly familiar, so I wouldn't know. But basically, Seamus is just saying like we need to figure out how to burn, scorch, and scar this without actually putting it through an explosion. So if you have an idea of something that could do that, we can just use that.
So I would say like hey Doc, give me that scalpel.
Go.
And
Don't cut yourself now.
you don't worry. Is any like so? Is there any like actual flame in the room? Or is it
Probably
just
not
char?
now.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm trying to think of a way that we can just maybe singe the finger.
Electrical outlet?
You're good with the electrical things, right?
Yeah, I am.
And we found all that paper. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it
we could probably
does
burn it.
burn.
Yeah, it does burn. So let's I'll find an outlet around here somewhere, and I'll roll a basic tech to see if I can maybe hotwire something. So,
quite literally, make a wire hot.
Absolutely. I think that'll do it.
You might have a shocking experience.
I think that'll really do it.
Definitely.
34.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
okay.
Nope. Totally failed. Yeah, no, you singed this thing perfectly.
Okay. All right. So I will put that away.
34 is
legendary.
Amazing. Well, beyond legendary capability. So legendary is considered 29.
Yeah.
So this is a carbon copy of one of those few limbs that survived. Yeah. This is
it is perfectly charred, scorched, and just it's a piece of art.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, let's get the heck out of here. And
I'm gonna take that and put in the old knapsack.
I need an interface check followed by a perception check.
Okay. Got no luck to spend.
And this is just on the side while other things are happening.
And perception?
Yes. And these are just, like I said, this is just on the side while other things are going on.
8 and 16. Because, nothing like low dice rolls.
You get a weird sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a voice in your head.
Sure.
It is interesting.
I look over and I notice he stopped walking. And
would you pause or anything?
No. He knows that this might happen. So I don't think at this stage, at least with just minimal interaction like this, I don't think you see anything. You might very slightly pause, but I'm not sure that warrants a question just right now.
Okay.
It wasn't like a freeze mid-step. It may have been like a half-second pause. Just
all right. No worries.
So good.
Yeah, Zid sends a thought and sees if she responds to it. The thought is, enjoying the ride, ? Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll just be gathering up anything that's left and making his way. So I just want to get this clear. Are we going and reporting first, or are we intending on fixing the tunnel, like the connection down here first?
I'd like to fix the
Connection's
connection.
outside, isn't it?
Data connection, signal connection is towards the entrance. There is a power supply here that was mentioned.
Okay. I'm good with that too, then.
Which one are we talking about? Here.
Well, so we've got a power source that can be, it's for something else, right? I've written it down here.
There's a power source here for the old complex.
Yeah. And then we have the actual, like, connection to get the whole place connected back to the surface, right?
Right, and that's somewhere else.
Okay, so the only thing left down here is the power source 4 down here, not a connection to the surface.
Correct.
Okay. So do we want to quickly go and do that?
I do.
Okay.
Will that raise suspicion? She wanted it done for... Do I remember why?
I think she wants it to, like, that was when, so that was when her connection was severed. So I think that, yeah, I think she wants that to restore the connection. But that, of course, is gonna then, like, Overseer is gonna probably pick up on that. But at the same time, the Overseer will then see that she is no longer there. So that, in fact, could be a way for us to explain, hey, this is evidence that we took care of your big problem, more of a big problem. Like, you wanted us to get rid of the AI, you wanted us to get rid of the mind. Here's you a finger from the mind. Here's proof that said AI no longer exists down in that space. Your problem is solved. So I say we go turn the power back on.
All right. Is that what you guys are going to do?
I think so.
Let's do it.
So, for your rules last time, Blackstone. You repaired the power upstairs and turned the vent on.
Oh God, yeah. Hang on, I'll go back.
Electrical tech and basic tech.
Yeah, it was a double electrical. Oh wait, no, that was the entry into the mine. Hang on, 1 second. Whoa, that's a lot of rolls. I gotta scroll back through.
I believe it was electronic security.
I believe
systems.
It was too.
It was also basic tech.
Basic tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember it being at least one of each, and then
because I had to get through a security system, I think, right? Or electronic system. I had to break through there and then fix. Like,
well, it was figuring out how it might be done, like what was wrong with it, and then also doing the repair.
Yep. Let's do it. Where am I? Like, where are we going? Are we going off to the cavern?
That's on the first floor that you roll for that.
Okay.
Down on the first floor, there is one of the rooms that you're told.
I think before we go and do that, I think we need to go back to the mutants, for want of a better word, and just let them know that this is our intention, right?
Yeah.
See if they have any argument or if this is cool with them.
Sounds good.
Just to be triple sure.
That's fair. Before we do that, sorry, I know we're starting to stack things. Is there anything we want to do with this vault that we didn't go into?
Zid's not really interested, I don't think.
Okay. I personally don't care. I just remember Doc said something earlier.
I think Doc wanted access.
Um, this
Because loot,
can we
right? Because
can
loot.
we we're still with the mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, you'd be on the 3rd floor because you guys went and blew stuff up.
Oh damn, that's right.
Is it this place we're trying to get into here?
Yeah, that's what
I
they're
thought it was-
talking about if you're trying to.
Oh, I thought we were trying to do this one over here. Where is it? Hang on, target. Oh, I thought it was like where? Okay, let me figure out. How
There
to double
was.
click.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
the
Dimension
thing-
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, just north
it
of
right
that.
there. Okay. Yeah, I thought we were trying.
I
to
think
get
the
in
confusion is the doors like right here.
Yeah.
there. Oh,
that's why.
all right.
I mean, there's a really cool sword in there. It looks like, but you know that's metagaming. Just saying.
That's metagaming because I wasn't able to get the whole thing done.
All right.
But you guys would be on the top floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
let's go back to the mutants.
Yeah. All right. So we've exploded the thing. We've made the finger look good.
Right.
Mhm.
We head back down to the bottom where the mutants were, and check in with them real quick. Let them know what we've done. Cleared up the tunnel snakes. Spoken
Yep.
to the mind and
Gotten rid of the
turned the
elites.
aircon on, and the mummy.
Yep.
Yep.
We don't. I don't think we should mention the finger.
Sure, we don't mention the finger.
We also experimented with how it is to scorch and scar human
Yeah.
I mean, they probably heard the explosion, but yeah.
All right, so yeah. What do they do? What do they say?
Yeah, you guys go back down. And power would be it's a certain thing. Which room it's in?
Not offhand.
But there's not that many rooms down here. There's only 12. Actually. There we go.
So they're all good to have us turn it back on again.
Correct.
Cool. I think we do it.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and roll my.
I'm assuming they show us which one, or
They
we just
don't know
walk-
which room it is.
They don't know which one. We
Okay.
start going
So-
into each room. There's only
Yeah.
12 of them.
We'll do 12
Oof,
if you
I'll
want.
yeah.
I mean, where are we? We're down there. We'll go to just
You're in there.
sequentially, right?
Oh fuck me.
Nope.
Oh wait, I did D12. What the hell? I did red D12.
Apparently, red D12 didn't work. You rolled a
Oh,
D10.
okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right. It's weird.
Oh, there you go. That's a D12.
Okay.
So that would be the little room on the north.
Okay.
So that room.
Do the mutants think that there's any danger in any of these rooms, or are they totally unaware of what is inside of
You
them?
know, they've kind of hunkered down with all the explosions and fighting because they don't have that kind of equipment.
Sure.
And they're kind of worst physically off you've seen down here. You've seen minor mutations on others, but they're a lot more bizarre mutations.
I mean, this area isn't that big. We could always split up and just make sure we keep like each other in sight as we're checking rooms,
That's true.
Yeah.
and just not go in the room until we know what's, just, pretty much open the door and look. And if it's not the room, then
Yeah.
We can decide if we want to come back to that room later or whatever. But
I agree with that.
Pick a door.
That'll be faster. I want to go on the one that's like right to my right.
Okay.
Alright, I will go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Go
One more
there.
there.
I'll go here.
And
Doc
Doc
can
will what?
go-
Check the stairs.
Yeah, that's fine. Doc, check the
I'm
stairs.
kidding. So yeah, Seamus opens that one. It looks like a little office. Doc opens it and is like, "It looks like storage in here." Blackstone opens it. It looks like the HVAC system that you started upstairs.
Okay.
Zid opens it and sees the power supply like upstairs.
Okay, I'm gonna
There
call
we
out
go.
and I say, well, looks like we've got it over here, man.
And there, and I'll roll my electronic security.
Right.
And I'm gonna drop a couple of luck in here because I'm pretty sure I need it.
I mean, you could just fail it and make it really.
Yeah, I really don't want to do that.
It explodes.
Nice roll.
I will take that all day.
22. Exceptional.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to pop that bad boy on and get it up and running.
Okay. And now I will do basic tech to
Yep, the air
the
system.
reroute. Yeah. I will also throw a couple of luck into this one, even though I probably don't need it.
I mean,
I
just
might
depends
need it.
what level of guarantee you want
21.
on it.
21
Nice.
probably is probably just enough to get it working.
Yeah, so you're able to kick that on and get that up and running.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna. Should we? Do we hear anything like perception checks?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Check, see what you-
I'm going. Oh fuck.
Got
Vomit.
some PTSD.
Oh,
involved
vomit!
in these
Jesus,
perception
yeah,
checks.
yeah. This is vomit. I couldn't have done much worse.
Zid's just keeping his eyes and ears open this whole time. He's up against the air ducts
worse.
and is just like,
I mean, nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah,
so I got a
Vomit.
21.
yeah. Good for you, because mine.
I beat
tanked.
Blackstone.
Yeah,
Good job.
Get a 5
I-
instead of a 2.
I mean, I can't hear anything apparently.
Well, you're right next to the.
It's
Yeah.
the explosions. Our ears
Yeah,
are still
it
ringing
is.
from the explosions.
Absolutely.
Zid.
Yeah.
You hear airflow,
Nice.
and that
Hey,
nasty staleness starts going away.
yeah, I go, hey man, I think we might be in trouble. And then I wait for them to sweat a little bit, and I go, there's some airflow coming down here, man.
Oh, I remember the last time I heard airflow. That didn't go very well.
I think we're safe, man. I just thought a little bit of levity can't go wrong, right?
Thank you for keeping the conversation light, sir.
Thank you
Ah.
for turning
And
the
as you
lights
say
back
that,
on.
lights kick on in the area instead of just the temporary hazard lighting and stuff. The actual lights kick on.
That makes me feel good too.
Well done, Blackstone.
And I presume cameras also come on.
Presumably, if there's some.
Yeah.
I look
Okay.
around
Yeah.
and make sure that Little Miss inside sees and hears all of the things that have happened.
So let's go back to the muties.
You go back to where?
It seems we have airflow.
Are you going?
Airflow.
Are you going to try to stash your stuff before checking in with them, or
Oh yeah, the
you gonna bring your
how
assault
fast,
rifle
yeah.
back with you?
I think that I'm actually gonna take I'm gonna take the AR, and I wanna stash it before we go back to the overseer.
Okay. So you
I
guys
know
want?
Would
that-
I be able? Would I be able to like take one of the weapons back to just show them the firepower that we came up against? He doesn't want to sneak it in. He wants to do it brazenly, and he wants to like say, "This is something that we found that people were using down here, and this is what we fought against," sort of thing.
I
I
think
would.
Blackstone already broke them down.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's fine.
I
Then
mean, if you want to, like we
No, it's
can, like the AR,
Okay.
the assault rifle, we can use that as proof. But at the same time, I don't think it would even actually make it that far. I think that like their stuff will be confiscated almost immediately.
okay, that's fine. All good. It was just a thought.
Yeah,
let's,
no, it's
let's get going. It's done.
All right.
okay.
You know that your previous stash location kind of goes a bit through the complex to get through it. So you either try to travel through the complex some, your armor and weapons and everything, or you could try to create a new stash.
What do you mean by the complex?
Like the actual complex that they're in charge of, that Life Tech's complex.
I thought we stopped at the stash before we came down here to get our stuff.
Did? But you were wearing your armor on the way through instead of bound armor. And you kind of like had a bag to stash some of the weapons in, which you can do that again, but you have a assault rifle now and foreign armor.
Yeah.
So there's bigger, more visible items.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I thought we went past our stash to come here and did all that.
You're good.
I think we should create a new stash.
And I get how it's a bit confusing on both, and that's why I was kind of mentioning it, because you did hit the other stash, but you weren't brazenly wearing, bulletproof vests that weren't sanctioned and long arms that weren't sanctioned.
Okay. We'll try and find a new location. And I believe that was a perception or reveal conceal.
It's a conceal reveal.
Conceal reveal to find a good spot.
Who's got the best?
I got 12.
Yeah, you're better
I have
than
13.
me. Yeah, either of you can roll, because I'm terrible.
22.
Nice. Well, Seamus
Thank
finds
you.
it.
Yep, sounds great.
Right. So, Seamus, skill would be perception bad. I think what else would work. Murphy, no. Yeah, perception. Or wilderness survival. One of the two I could see working. You find a good hiding spot.
Ooh, yeah, you
Okay.
do.
30.
Oh
for
my
perception.
god.
In finding a hiding spot, you find a crack in the wall. And you're able to get back in there, and you see it actually opens up into a natural cave system. So now, not only do you have a good stash point, you know that it is access to the natural caves as well.
Nice.
Ooh, that's helpful.
And that's why I was having you roll it.
Thank you.
You guys are like passing stuff through, like Seamus slips into this crack and you guys are like passing the stuff we're stashing here. And he's not really looking around yet. He's just kind of pulling it in and stacking it, and he's kind of doing it quickly. And like, as someone hands him the last piece, he kind of looks around and he's like, "Wait a second," and he takes a couple steps forward, slides sideways or whatever, and like sees this open up, and he's just like, you just hear him like take a breath in, and then all of a sudden like you see his head peek out of the crack in the wall, and he's like, "You guys have got to see this," and just like disappears back in there.
Do I need a contortionist in there?
It's just shy of control, but yeah,
Okay.
it's a tight fit.
Okay. So we can all get back.
Yeah,
there.
you can get in there.
Okay.
I mean, Doc might need to do contortionist one, but he's pretty good at contortion.
We'll let him know what was in there. We don't want to get him stuck.
That's fine.
Well, he's actually the one that actually has decent skill in contortionism.
Yeah,
so he's the one that would actually have to use it.
Yeah.
Funny times.
All right, so we see natural tunnels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get back and you stash that Seamus made. And beyond that, you see some
Seamus.
natural
Seamus.
tunnels.
This looks great.
You are the man. This is... Wow. How did you find that?
I'm just that good. They don't call me a fixer for nothing.
Well, don't let me say that I doubt you again.
You fixed us up, man.
I wonder if this could be a way out, or at least lead to it.
Well,
Me?
we will see when we converse with the rebels. But for now, perhaps it is best that we get back.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely. Just, this is something to consider, because we might be able to use this to our advantage. Hopefully soon.
Indeed. Remember what they said, what the mind said, though. I think it was the mind, or was it the chick, to me specifically, that it was the chick, Blue Angel. So Zed would now reveal what Blue Angel has said, and he would say, while I was conversing with the Blue Angel, she did mention that there was only 2 exits to the facility. One, the official one that is well guarded and only accessible by machines, and 2 that would lead to the surface and be, well, a year's walk to wherever, to Night City.
Okay. Do we need to out of character, do we need to take the stuff that we're carrying and actively just put owned instead of carry?
Yeah, you can go ahead and just put it to owned to mark that you are no longer carrying it, but that you threw it in the stash.
Okay.
It's just an easy way for us to keep track of right now what's on you and what's in the stash.
Okay.
So if you just flip it to owned.
Yep. So the
circle is owned, right?
Yeah. The heavy pistol bore that I have, that's one of the ones that we pulled off. So I'll keep that as proof.
Do you remember all of the people that have done that? I don't know of a way to see that. Although the leathers, yeah. How are we seeing what we picked up versus what we had previously?
That's true.
There is a light armor jack body piece that you picked up. The heads are all things that you picked up, but most of the bodies were ones that you're given. I believe Blackstone had the one that you guys picked up.
So I've got 2 light armor jacks.
We all got light armor jack body and head. I'm not mistaken, before we left.
Yeah, from the procurement guy.
And then we got
No, you just had light
whatever energy weapon.
light armor jack body. It was just the body that you got.
All
The
right, so we
head
didn't get the
was from below.
Okay. Then I think
Okay.
I've got that marked correct then.
And all the leathers were what we got from below.
Yes.
So that goes.
Stash
that gets
those.
Stashed. The body. I'm gonna put on the leather jack body that is actually the least. It has the most damage to it. So show
Yeah,
like
yeah. So the one that doesn't have the star is the one that you're issued.
Okay. The one that does not have the star.
Yeah,
is
the asterisk, the star was the one we put up. We put that on the one that you picked up.
Okay.
Downstairs.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. We do that.
I'm gonna. Yep.
And for next chapter, I'm already planning on trying to, in our in-between time, I want to get a little base camp sort of thing set up where there is a stash where you guys can actually unequip your gear into this shared container.
Okay. Sweet.
But you know, you live and you learn and you figure things out.
So, do we need to stash the ammo?
Well, the ammo doesn't show that you can stash it, so just basically,
Okay.
are you stashing any energy ammo, or are you just stashing?
No, I'm just gonna. All the ammo I'm not doing anything with. It's fine.
Okay. So you're stashing all the ballistics ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you probably would do that. Just verifying. All right, cool. So you guys go back, check in your gear. Like, hey, you've been a while. Took you guys quite a duration there. Is everything all right?
Yeah. It is now.
As you can see, man, we have been a little bit harrowed down in the depths.
Well, we heard there are some monstrous beasts down that way, so.
There were.
Beasts
Took care of those.
and gangs and all manner of things.
Beasts and what?
Gangs.
Yep.
What? Like,
Gangs,
beasts can't have gangs. That just sounds weird.
Beasts.
Never you mind. We will talk to the overseer.
Yep. We are ready to turn in our armors and our weapons and.
Well, set your gear here on the counter and I'll check it in.
Set my stuff down. All the bullet holes and claw marks, so I can show him what the hell happened.
Got a strange thing here that you have that.
What do you mean?
Like, there's actually bullet holes on your outfit. That's weird.
Yeah, you know, because we fought people that had guns.
But there's not any guns here. Who did you fight?
No. Here's a gun. I pull out the poor pistol. Here's a gun. Yeah, we fought people.
Oh, strange. You better talk to the overseer immediately. Are we being invaded?
I wouldn't say that. Because you know we took
the problem's
care
taken
of him.
care of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't worry, friend. We took care of all this. We took care of everything, just like we were supposed to. So let's go talk to the overseer and check in, and don't worry. All's good.
I am sure the overseer would release any information that he sees as pertinent to your knowledge.
Yes. You're right. Thank you for your gear. Have a great day, and we'll see you on your next assignment.
Rest assured, friend. You have nothing to worry about.
All right.
So you guys are able to head back to the overseer now and check in.
Off to Off to the overseer. Yep, let's do it.
Ah, you all took quite a while. Welcome back to my domain. How did things go?
Badly.
Yeah, they things could have gone better. We had a few fights, fixed a few problems.
I marked off the last year of my life before we managed to just barely scrape our way out of said situation.
And just to confirm, Blackstone, you said you checked in the poor heavy pistol?
Well, I mean, technically, I guess, but like, I was hoping that would let me keep it to show to the overseer. So
Okay.
I would
Well, it's the same.
to-
Like, you're going to surrender it to the overseer is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna surrender the poor heavy pistol to the overseer. I am not surrendering my fucking Malorian arms.
Well, it's not marked in your inventory as being in your inventory still, so that's why I'm just verifying.
It is stashed.
Indeed.
So the poor heavy pistol isn't. I carried it. But
Yeah.
But I showed the procurement guy. I showed him the heavy pistol. I don't think I put it down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Sorry.
Did you keep your lockpick set on you, or did you stow that?
I mean, I thought I couldn't remember if I got it from the procurement person or if that was in the stash.
No. That was a item you guys got separate.
Okay. So I meant to stash that then.
Okay. It's cool. I wanted to verify.
Yeah. I just didn't know where I got it from.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys check in the stuff, and you guys are able to go back to your duties. And the overseer thanks you for your work and has a robot come in and take the pistol and head off with it. Raising your hand?
Yeah, I'm raising my hand because I'm wondering, like, so we're still talking to the overseer, right? Okay. All right.
While you're in with the overseer has a robot come in and remove the dangerous item.
Offending item.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, take the poor pistol. See, Mr. Overseer, this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with, that we had to deal with. Like, they don't have the tech to, like, have a problem. They're not a problem anymore. We took them out.
I see. I do appreciate the service that you have conducted for the complex. Was there anything else you found on there?
No idea,
None.
how much we have been able to accomplish while we have been down there.
Oh, do tell me.
I open up my pack and I produce a digit and I present it to
A little pedestal comes up out of the floor.
And I place it on said pedestal.
And you notice a scan starts swooping over it. Oh, you found him. How unfortunate.
We found him no longer.
Unfortunate for him.
He was this person because he said him. So unfortunately for him, he was no longer breathing because this was all that we found.
And
there
why
might
is
have been
that?
a kind of explosion that led to his demise.
I see.
He was caught in the crossfire.
It would have been better for you to bring him back alive. But we may overlook your failures for now.
Indeed.
I also remember him. Yeah. And I'm
Fading fast?
I was misremembering. That's fine. I'm good.
It is all kind of a blur.
Yeah.
These bullet wounds will take a while to heal.
Indeed.
Not likely.
What? Why?
Indeed. Why do you
Probably
say
wake
not?
up tomorrow and they'll be gone. This place is magical. I love it.
It's not quite magical, it's more technological. We don't do magic and sorcery here.
That's just a figure of speech.
Seamus, I know you have this silver tongue, sir, but you might want to like keep the silver tongue in your mouth for the time being.
Seamus just rolls his eyes at you.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you, Mr. Overseer. Look forward to the next job. Thank
Roll
you
a
very much.
suck up check.
Roll a stuck-up check. Nice.
Where's the brown nosing skill?
I'm looking for the grease the wheels.
Persuasion.
Yeah. And it's terrible. Hang on.
Conversation.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hang on.
Yeah, so either conversation or persuasion.
What about human perception? Okay, he's not human, so
He's
that
not
wouldn't
human,
work. That
so
wouldn't work. Hang on.
no.
Do I get? Can I do perception or do I have to do?
You can
social
do
skills?
wardrobe and style if you prefer.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I do not. I'll do conversation. Even though this is gonna be terrible.
I mean, you got some luck
I'm
left,
gonna-
right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spend it though. I'll take
9.
that though. Oh damn! I was hoping it was almost a 10. That probably didn't help, but
No, not a
I
whole
didn't fall
lot.
on I didn't fall on my face. Hopefully.
Not completely, but you definitely aren't sounding very apt.
Okay. Well.
I think we might need some rest before we give our full report. Does that meet with your expectations, sir?
I feel you all seem like you're a little under the weather, so for now we will give you a pardon. What we'll be watching you are to appear to your duties the day after tomorrow.
That sounds more than reasonable, sir.
You are dismissed. And you guys are able to walk out and walk to your room.
Yeah, I bow and then like.
All right.
Blackstone, you talk a bit too much when you're in there. What were you remembering?
Yeah, I got a little too ahead of myself. Forgive me.
He's just trying to make friends. Don't be too critical of him. He just has a bit of the Stockholm syndrome, don't you know?
Just be more careful. If he had asked more questions, we'd be in a lot more trouble.
Yeah, we don't want trouble.
It seems like Trouble is our middle name.
More like first name.
Well, you know, if somebody didn't try to spy on the overseer, we wouldn't have had this problem to start with. But that's fine.
I'll be sure to change my signature to match my apparent first name, then Seamus.
Wait, did you say you're changing your name to Seamus?
No, to Danger. From now on, you may call me D-Zid.
Look, someone might have spied on the overseer, but at least that person didn't turn on the air conditioner. Almost get us killed.
You know what, sir? I'll have you know that, like, yeah, I got us into trouble, but you know what? I also got us out of trouble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you shooting the giant rat from 3 stories up? Because I was.
This is how it's going to be, right? This is how it's going to be. I think we should, I think, you know what? Let's just lay our heads on our pillows and let's just, like, calm down and have a good night's sleep. And then wake up and eat our kibble. And maybe we can see.
Forget all of this? Sure.
Zid will just approach his bed. He looks down at it.
And you see someone laying in it.
Fuck.
But it's almost like a hologram.
Okay.
So these are your accommodations. Interesting.
I will say out loud, I'll say, I have to admit, part of me was looking forward to getting some sleep, but these bunks, man. Oh, I could do with an upgrade.
So you guys didn't hear the one part, but you heard Zid's response. So it sounds like Zid's just talking to you guys or to himself.
Zid, did you say something, friend?
Yeah, man, are you losing your hearing too?
You talking to me? You talking to somebody else?
Well, you're the one that just asked the question.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you close your eyes and try and get some sleep?
Do these cots move? Or are they stationary?
Hey. They're probably bolted to the floor. Knowing how the complex is.
I don't know if Seamus was sleeping in the one farthest away from Zid, but he is now.
Perfect. Brilliant. Zid will approach his bed differently to every other time, and he will come in from the bottom of the bed instead of from the side. Curl himself up against the wall and go, I feel I need a bit of extra support tonight, man.
You see Seamus, like, what is it, like the rosary or whatever, but like he's not religious, but, and I feel like maybe part of that's been lost, so he does it completely wrong. It's not even
you do
close
like a
to
Z
what it
instead.
should be. Yeah, it's some weird, he knows what he's trying to do, but he doesn't know how to do it. It's one of those things where he feels like he's heard tales of stuff like this, and yeah.
All right. Whew.
Man, that's a rough day today, guys. Let's get some shut eye and see what tomorrow brings, and hopefully we wake up and still have 2s in front of our at the end of our names.
As soon as you stop talking, I will
Yeah, you didn't even finish your statement, probably with how exhausted you are.
Good night, James.
Aren't you a bit worried about Zid?
I
He's
am.
acting a bit strange.
I'm very worried about Zid. But at the same time, we made the choice, and I mean, it's his body. He's allowed to make.
I don't know that you know about this.
You asked us our thoughts on it. You asked us if.
But
it
you
was
don't
okay.
know exactly what was done, but you know that he asked about it. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly what happened, but I mean, clearly he's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think that he's just going through a lot of stress. Like, I mean, we had like 3 successive firefights within, knock on wood, like a 45-minute time period in game.
Yeah, no, like, it was pretty rapid succession.
Yeah, I mean, like, we had
That's
to, like...
a lot of strain, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, not to mention all of the mental strain with, like, whatever he experienced, and whenever we were with what's-his-face, like, the guy that we met. I mean, I'm saying it this way because of, like, all the monitoring and everything. And he just... Yeah, I mean, he's just, his body and his mind are both enduring a lot of stress right now, and so yeah, I'm worried about him.
I've seen. We've already established that everything's a double talk, but Seamus says I've seen
you
that.
Can talk normal, just you guys are double talking, yeah.
I've seen people with agents in their cyber decks. I imagine if he succeeded in downloading the AI, that it's probably more. I've never seen anyone act like that. I'm just a bit concerned. Just see that we might all need to keep more of an eye on him, I guess. Make sure that he's okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that we should, like, at breakfast tomorrow, when we wake up, we should get a sense of, like, how he's feeling. Then, if we see him, like, while he's working, see and check in on him. And then, like, after we get off work, maybe go and just not get into another bar fight, or cause another bar fight. But
maybe we should avoid conflict for a little while.
Yeah,
be a day or two.
Hey, give us a day.
Yeah. Let's...
To be fair, that was for a reason. That was.
But the yeah, I think we should take him out for a drink tomorrow night.
And that, good viewers, is where the camera fades as they get to their sleep. And next episode we find out what nightmares come to these lovely crew and what the day following is. I do thank you all for being here, and I hope you thoroughly have enjoyed. Be sure to tune in next week where this adventure continues. Thank you, wonderful viewers. You wonderful cast and crew. Hope you guys had a blast. Until next time, as always, enjoy the story. We'll see you all then.